I'm just gonna start slowly with a round of introductions, and then we can kind of get the thing rolling. So I'm Martin Medensky. I'm an investment director at Flashpoint. So we're the organizers of the event, as you've seen. So I wanted to welcome all the judges that we have currently here. So we have Pirkka from Maki. We have Elina from Brightcap Ventures. We have Zsolt from DayOne Ventures. We have Apostolos from VentureFriends, and we're still missing a couple other people. I want to ask you to please, do a little bit of an introduction about yourself. So we're just going to go, just a couple minutes, real quick. What you, where you are, what you invest in, and so on. So if you can start, whoever wants to start.
Maybe I can start.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
My name is Elina. Nice to meet you, everyone. I'm a co-founding general partner of Brightcap Ventures, which is based in Sofia, but it invests basically globally in companies that have tech teams here in Sofia. My background has mostly been in finance, tech research, and investing in New York and London. And before starting Brightcap, I launched a tech startup here in Bulgaria. The fund is 25 million euro. We have two instruments, an accelerator and an early stage compartment. Through the accelerator, we back companies up to 200,000, and the early stage is 3.5 million. And to date, we've made 13 investments and 2 exits. We've been operating since 2018. And we're sector agnostic, like most of us, but we prefer software, SaaS, enterprise solutions.
Perfect. Who wants to go next? Maybe
I can go next. So hi everybody. I'm Pirkka. I'm a founding partner with Maki.vc, and we're Helsinki, Finland-based early stage investors. So typically invest in pre-seed and seed stages, sometimes a bit later as well. We like deep tech and we like brand-driven companies, and obviously software plays a big part. And we've done a lot of SaaS investments, but we do invest in stuff like hardware and new materials as well. We've done 33 investments so far, typically kind of like 300 to 3 million initial tickets, and then kind of follow on with the best companies, 1 exit, and now we did 1 IPO last spring, and we started investing 2018.
Perfect. Thank you very much. On my screen, Zsolt is the next, so yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring out. Hi guys, my name is Zsolt Weiszbart. I'm a partner at DayOne Capital, which is a Budapest-based venture fund, an early stage fund investing mostly in the Central Eastern European region. Our current fund size is 35 million, where we are investing out right now. Our typical check size starts around 500K and goes up to 1.5 million. Our current portfolio, we have 15 companies in the funds right now, and we had 1 exit so far. And as most of you are also not focusing on specific areas, but actually we are looking for the tech founders at the early stage who can make it to the world stage. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, so I think we have all the judges now. So Apostolos, do you want to go next?
Sure. So I'm a founding partner at VentureFriends. We are an early stage fund. We invest at seed, pre-Series A stage across Europe, actually. We invest from our third fund. We started in 2016. Our third fund, which was just launched, is 80 million euros. I was a founder myself in the marketplaces space, food delivery, but also doctor-patient marketplace. We invest in marketplace, but also SaaS across Europe and the Middle East, actually, and some LATAM. So yeah, what we're looking for is some network effects, some defensibility in the business models, and of course, scalability as all of us.
Thank you very much. I think, yeah, now we have all the judges. I would like to ask all the startups that are going to pitch that they can, just go on mute and kind of hide the video just for now so that we're like focusing on the judges at the moment. You will have your own moment to shine, so don't worry. On my screen, the next one is Max. Can you maybe also tell?
Yeah, hi everyone. Pleasure to see so many friends here on both sides of the table, which is very exciting, both founders and judges. So my name is Max Gurvits, based in Bulgaria. I'm a partner at the Vitosha Venture Partners Fund. We're quite a generalist fund. I like to call it an everything bagel. We invest small tickets, larger seed tickets up to $1 million. Tech, not only tech related, tech-enabled stuff, including food, including fashion. We're quite on a roll here and very happy to be part of this group, both in this country and to see colleagues here like Elina, who's also a fellow investor here in Bulgaria. And very excited to hear the founders today. So thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. So Lisya is the next one. Did I pronounce your name right? Or?
Very good. Thank you, Martin. Hi, everyone. And thank you for inviting me, first of all, and it's good to see you. So I'm Lisya. I'm based in Tel Aviv, Israel. So I'm partner at Catalyst Funds, established in 1999, one of the trustable funds. So today I'm investing only in the growth stage high-tech companies and in the SaaS, in biotech, in medtech, and we are generalists, but mainly we are focused in biotech, smart mobility, and satellite communication. So these are our focus. Our average ticket sizes are starting from $10 to $15 million. So, and we are investing that globally.
Sounds very good. And I see they also had the birthday recently.
Yes, my daughter had a birthday and she wants to keep the whole year.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And last but not least, Michał.
Hi everyone, my name is Michał Rokosz. I'm from Inovo Venture Partners. We're a Warsaw-based fund that is investing across Central Eastern Europe. We are a generalist fund, yet I do quite a lot of investment in health tech space with 2 realized last year and probably 1 coming in the next couple of weeks. So looking forward to see another companies where we can potentially become shareholder.
Very good. So now that we have all the judges, I think I just wanted to make sure that everyone is aware that there is a link in your calendars, which you then can use at the end of the pitching sessions to rank the startups, and that's going to be the deciding factor. So just be mindful of that, please. And now, we have, if I counted right, we have 6 companies presenting. So I would like to ask Joran from Beacon Cure to start, please, the pitch. You will have 3 minutes, which I will count, and then we'll have some Q&A session. So just be mindful of the time, but otherwise, we're ready if you are.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm using this platform for the first time, so apologies in advance. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Perfect.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to go on full screen, so I only see my screen. So again, apologies. Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Johan Bahar. I'm CEO and co-founder of Beacon Cure. I'm going to present shortly what we do as a niche player in optimizing drug and vaccine release processes by introducing first ever an automated platform. The problem that we're addressing seems very trivial, but far from it. We have been working with Pfizer out in the US for 4 years now, and Takeda and Roche as well, identifying that the entire clinical trial data handling process is done manually. It also consists of many errors and inconsistencies. Once those are delivered to the FDA or European regulator, it is rejected severely, and consequently, the entire process takes far more time than it deserves. We all know that any new drug or vaccine takes a lot of time, costs millions, and is very, very complex. The process from an termination of a clinical trial up to delivery can take up to 10 months, and that is due to the fact that everything is done manually. Specifically, we discovered that the numeric data validation is the bottleneck for the entire process to be able to be accelerated. So, just to give you an example, on the left-hand side, you're looking at a statistical table that depicts the number of patients that participated in a trial. It doesn't matter in this case if it's a drug or placebo. It indicates 118 took drug A, another 180 took drug B, and you're looking on the right-hand side at a subsequent table, a very important table that explains the adverse events, the safety events that occur. You can see on the right-hand side that the number of patients is different from the left. This is a huge discrepancy and a no-no that would probably stop the data handling process altogether. So, together with Pfizer, as a design partner on a bottom-up approach, we designed, developed, and deployed a generic solution that compares and validates the data sets automatically, with the ability to impact the critical timelines and getting the process shorter. What does it mean? It means that for statisticians and programmers, we deliver data accuracy, accelerate the delivery from the statisticians to the programmers and then to the medical writers, and of course, reducing the overall risk. Now, we all know that an early approval means earlier time to market.
We're 3 minutes, so please hurry up. Sorry.
Okay. So we all know what earlier time to market means. We have been, we have a very important product market fit. We have been battle tested with the COVID-19 interim release process, which we supported. We have a very good ramp up and a healthy pipeline of pharmaceutical companies that would onboard our product. We're looking at a total reachable market of 2 billion from 1,000 companies, and then another billion from the 50 multinationals, reaching in a couple of years a $3 billion total accessible market out of an 11 billion total accessible market, looking at enterprise content management system for B2B. This is our management team. On our advisory board, we have industry experts who are hands-on working with us. Pfizer, Parexel, Medidata, Final, and NICE. And this is our presentation.
Thank
I'll
you.
tell you more about.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Let's go to Q&A now, and then I'm sure that there will be a number of questions you can answer.
Of course.
I mean, one thing that is missing, I mean, at least for me, is the quantification of the value creation. You showed us the pain, I mean, the issue you're solving, but how big is this? How prevalent is this as an issue in the process? And how will that justify you to charge what you're suggesting?
Okay, so first of all, imagine that any company in any part of the world that creates a drug or a vaccine or needs to resubmit an edited drug or vaccine needs to do a clinical trial data validation process. The easiest example is the biggest companies who are doing workflow management, Viva and Medidata, each selling between $2 to $3 billion a year on workflow. They're not even validating the data. They're just moving data across the board very efficiently, very good companies. But nobody today is validating data in a numeric manner, automated the way that we do. So the first value proposition is, of course, quality, absolute quality. The second is time reduction. If you automate manual processes, and mind you, in Pfizer, we are mandatory to be used, we are shaving off the time to market. And 3, turnaround time. So handling time, overall time to market, and quality. Does that answer your question?
I mean, I understand it. In a soft way, I understand it. I just wanted it to be more, backed by numbers in terms of what's the cost and how often this happens, this issue with data accuracy. But
data
I'm going to
accuracy is a
monopolize.
problem that goes the entire year, all the time. So any submission, obviously being done manually, has inconsistencies. Imagine that any study has global teams working on it. One is in China, the other one is in North Carolina, the other was in San Francisco. It's done manually. So manual work creates inconsistencies that other folks need to correct. The entire back and forth process takes a lot of time. The easiest equivalent is software development using Jira. You know Jira for software development? Imagine that you're taking Jira and you're applying it to this area that has never been automated before. First and foremost, any task related on a study level can be shared, delegated, compared. The log files, audit trail, everything is under one place for the first time. and processes are not need to be done manually. So if there's an inconsistency somewhere, it is being tracked, managed, edited, and corrected under one place. They're not using, they're using Excels today, okay? Excels over email. And 3 years ago, they used printouts, paper, ruler and pencil. So I think, well, I don't think, we are making about $1.5 million a year from Pfizer alone. And we're going to make a similar amount from Roche and PRA. So I think the numbers speak for themselves. The impact is already evident. The COVID-19 vaccine interim report was achieved earlier than expected. By the way, Pfizer beat Moderna in 2.5 weeks.
Joran, I think unfortunately we're out of time. So thank you very much. The next company that is going to present is Olive Diagnostics, where I just learned that Danny is going to fill in for Guy. So Danny, please, if you want to go ahead and start your presentation.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for your time. Also, just trying to check what this is.
Yeah, just click the share button and then you can share your screen. There is a.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. It has to be a tab. It can't be a PowerPoint presentation.
There is a button which looks like a screen. So if you press on it.
Yeah, I pressed that, but it has to be a Chrome tab. It can't be a PowerPoint.
I'm not sure. I think you can just share a screen and then it will like see whatever program you're using.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, perfect. All right. So thanks, everybody. I know that we only have 3 minutes. I had 20 slides planned, but I was only told about 20 minutes ago that I only have 3 minutes. So I'd like to first of all introduce you to a woman named Karen Goldman. She is the mother of our founder and CEO, Guy Goldman, who the story begins in 2017 when she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. At the time, co-founder Guy was working in London, managing a company where his family was actually in Israel, his mother as well. And he wanted to try and remotely kind of monitor what was going on with her body. So he was calling his family every day, 4 or 5 times a day, trying to find out how the chemotherapy and everything was going. And eventually his brother basically said to him, look, you're calling every single day, which is fantastic, you care, but it's starting to get really annoying. So either come home or, stop calling. So he eventually started looking into any kind of remote monitoring solutions, which in 2017, you would think there would be some sort of solutions that had already been developed to be able to kind of, pick up any kind of monitoring for these kinds of health solutions remotely. So there were very, very limited kind of solutions that we had. So he started looking into how he could develop a solution. And the 4 kind of things that stood out would be that there would have to be a need, right? It can't be anything that changes people's lifestyles or changes their day-to-day, the way that they're actually going about their healthy life. We would need to bring the solution that would actually bring value to people and could also try and integrate into people's lives as well as a solution. The technology that we looked at immediately stood out was urine. The problem with healthcare today, I don't think I need to go into the numbers. Everybody's seen how problematic healthcare is today. There are a lot more problems than there are solutions, and the cost of those solutions, of those problems, are absolutely enormous. It's costing governments, it's costing companies, it's costing people, and people are dying more often today than they ever were before from healthcare solutions. We like this quote, which basically says that using AI and IoT is going to be part of the revolution of how healthcare is going to save the current situation and being able to, I guess, improve people's health going forward. So what we came up with was using spectroscopy, which is, as well as being a very difficult word to say, it's actually a very sensitive kind of science. And basically it's using light to be able to measure the contents of something. Or in this case, what we've done is we've used something completely revolutionary and used spectroscopy to measure the molecular structure of a stream in urine. So on the one hand side, I'm sorry?
You're at 3 minutes, please hurry.
Okay. So basically what we're seeing here is on one hand side, you've got the LED's array of light, and on the left-hand side, you've got our photodiodes that basically receive the light. So you're putting in a certain energy of light into the toilet bowl system. And what we've come up with, is a sensor that sits on top of the toilet bowl. And on one side of the system is an array of LEDs. On the other side of the system are photodiodes that are able to actually break down the molecular structure of urine. So these are the kinds of accuracies that we've had with protein, red blood cells, nitrates, pH, specific gravity, volume, frequency, color, and being able to give real-time data on urine in real time. This is a simple picture of the MVP that we've already created and been testing so far in Hadassah as well. This is the picture of what our finished product is going to look like when it goes to market. Quickly, clinical trials we've got going on in Hadassah and Karim in Jerusalem, some of the investors that we've already got on board. I will quickly run through this, basically saying that that water is made up of 95 to 97% water. So that 3% that's left there's about 3,100 different molecules that we can pick up about a person, a management team, and some patent protections that we've got.
Thank you.
Market.
Let's go to Q&A now.
Sure. No
worries. Has any questions?
Thanks. So where are you in terms of like the clinical trials? So when and what indications are you able to actually pick up?
So like I showed, red blood cells, protein, nitrates, volume, frequency. So we're at different percentages for each of them. So for protein, let's say for example, we're at 98%, and specific gravity we're able to pick up.
Yeah, but is the outcome kind of like you're predicting? Kind of would this be used for screening a cancer, or just that you're?
No, this is what we're trying to do is basically bring early detection. I don't like using the word early detection because of the ramifications of it, but just detecting things a lot earlier than what we've been able to do up until today. So imagine all of you have a sensor in your toilet where every single day you use time after time after time, and you've got data which is following you on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So let's say for 6 months you've been using the same toilet, or you can also use other toilets if you get it installed in your workplace or whatever. You scan your cell phone or a QR code, and then you start to see on a dashboard any kind of increase of protein or red blood cells. If you've got kidney stones, you'll start to see red blood cells appearing in your urine stream a lot quicker than when you start to feel the symptoms. What happens today is you feel the symptoms, you go to the doctor, you've got back pain. Eventually, what he'll do is screen you for urine. UTIs is a massive part of this puzzle as well. 3 minutes doesn't really do it justice, but
Someone else? Lisya, you had a question, or Elina?
Elina, go ahead. Ask later.
Quickly, because you're a detection, your product is a detection product, do you have to do FDA like 510K
so
FDA approval, or
we are going to go through the FDA route. We don't necessarily have to. We can angle it towards a wellness market, but it's much easier to go through the FDA process and CE process. We're actually going through the CE self-certification process right now, and then get FDA approval along the way. We're going to have to do a de novo because there actually isn't anything that exists in the market like this today, with real-time monitoring of urine.
Danny, what is your business plan? Is B2B, or are you working? Because I saw that some names already, Maccabi and Hadassah. Are you planning to work with the insurance companies?
Initially, we're going to be going after assisted living facilities, telehealth, and outpatient services. It's going to be a B2B model to begin with. We're going to establish our presence and our name in the market, and then eventually it'll be a wellness play, yes.
Very good. Thank you very much. I think that's it for the Q&A. Great presentation. The next company that is presenting is called Powerful Medical. And I think we have Martin here. So Martin, if you're ready,
hi guys.
Start your presentation. Hi there.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, amazing. Okay, guys, so I'm Martin Herman. I'm the co-founder of Powerful Medical. And at Powerful Medical, we're really tackling the most pressing issues of modern medicine, and that is cardiovascular diseases. Cardiovascular diseases are the #1 cause of death worldwide, and I'm going to explain to you why that is. Currently, the gold standard for the diagnosis of cardiac conditions is a 12-lead ECGs. And the ECGs are really being done everywhere. So every ambulance call out, they do an ECG. Almost every ER visit, they do an ECG. Before every operation, again, ECG. Everyone over the age of 45 should get an ECG done once a year. However, we also know that 9 out of 10 ECGs are not interpreted by qualified cardiologists. And we have GPs, nurses, internal medicine doctors, paramedics looking at them, only being able to tell if an ECG is normal or abnormal. And therefore, we've decided to create a tool so any physician with an ECG machine can diagnose ECGs like a cardiologist with 10 years of experience. The way we've done this is by joining forces with leading medical institutions from all over Europe and now Israel as well. And we've obtained about 10 million fully digital patient histories consisting of ECGs, blood tests, echo parameters, outcome data, post-operation reports, and so forth, some of them spanning back 15 years. Our clinical assistant, PM Cardio, is currently fully certified as a Class 2B medical device under the new European regulation, and we're getting FDA approval within Q1 of next year. The way it works is an app for iOS and Android. By taking a picture, the doctor can digitize any ECG recording, making us compatible with any hospital infrastructure already out there. After that, he fills up a couple of patient parameters, and we're really able to give him a very precise diagnosis using AI, and we have really industry-leading performance. After he receives a diagnosis, we're able to pull up the latest clinical practice guidelines and ask a couple of more case-related questions. And based on the answers to those questions and the clinical practice guidelines, we're able to recommend next steps. Furthermore, on the whole platform, the physicians can share the ECG reports and patient files among themselves in a very secure manner. We have integrated chat and so forth. Where we make money on this? So we are currently charging insurance companies between 5 to 15 euros per patient scan. What makes it very easy is that most of the healthcare system now have digital healthcare codes. Of course, our technology is also available via API. All of what we've built, you can get over the API, and we can integrate it into other medical software or other medical devices. And of course, now we're starting a big partnership with Maccabi, and we're also in talks with Clalit in Israel as well. Currently, it's about 50 of us. We have locations in Belgium, in Slovakia, and in Israel. We will close this year with a total contract value of about 1.5 to 2 million euros. And we're now raising a funding round of about 5 million euros at a 35 million pre-money valuation. Our team consists of...
we're 3 minutes, so please hurry up.
Amazing. Our team consists of really world-class physicians, experienced entrepreneurs, and very talented AI engineers and medical researchers. Noteworthy mentions are Professor Hattala, who is part of the European Society of Cardiology, and Roy Ramon, who is helping me lead the company, was previously a partner at Intel Capital. Thank you. This was Powerful Medical, and listen up, because this might really save your life one day. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Martin. Great pitch. Now for Q&A.
Hi, Martin. Michał here. I wanted to deep dive on this 5 to 15 euro per patient. What is the value for your client so that they decide to pay this amount of money?
The value is very easy. The insurance companies actually incentivize the physicians to use tools like this, and they pay them a certain amount of money. So let's say, in Europe, average on average using a digital tool to evaluate something, has to be certified, of course, the doctor gets 10 euros. We split it with him, we take 5, the doctors get 5. Of course, there is a lot of other things involved. In Belgium, for example, for the sole fact a GP scans the ECG, sends it to a cardiologist, and the cardiologist replies, yes, send this patient, both of them can charge about 20 euros as a remote consultation. So, and why the insurance companies are, of course, interested is because, you know, they have a big financial incentive to deal with as many patients as they can in the primary care level, so GP, and not in the specialized care level. Because the sole fact that, you know, you touch the door handle at the cardiologist office, the insurance company already has to pay him, you know, 300, 400, 500 euros, depending on the country.
So it's a cost-saving thing, because probably majority of patients will never be touched by a cardiologist, but will be handled by a GP and your software.
That's the idea. That's the idea, and we can really see from cardiologists about every 4th patient they receive is not a cardiologist patient with whom they have to spend, you know, of course, the time and not get enough compensation from the insurance company. And about every 4th patient from the primary care level never gets to see the cardiologist. And this is really, you know, this net of us really catching every single case, diagnosing them properly. You know, beside the short-term savings of, you know, not having to refer, they bring long cost savings, you know, such as you have atrial fibrillation, diagnosis that 1 out of 5 people over 60 have, increases your stroke risk by about 10-fold. And, you know, a stroke patient costs the insurance system in Europe about, you know, 15,000 euros in healthcare costs the first year, 45K for lifetime costs. And, you know, we're able to detect about 60 different diagnostic classes. So we're really an all-round, you know, tool any cardiologist or any physician with an ECG can use with no barriers to entry.
I think while preventive makes sense in the long run, unfortunately, companies rather optimize for the cost here and now for handling the patients they have. So it's this immediate cost saving that probably is the selling point in the end.
In Europe, definitely yes, but I think in the US will be. I think based on the discussions we had with you know, companies such as Centene in the US, they're also thinking a bit more long term than the Europeans at the moment.
Martin, do you have also cardiologists among these 35,000 users that you had?
So the 35,000 users is a planned, basically, user acquisition. We currently had a closed pilot with 1,200 doctors all over the EU and Israel as well. We have about 5,000 or 6,000 more people on a waiting list, and we're actually releasing the fully functioning product within the next week. So really, for us, I think it's now time to really first of all, you know, convert all of the users that have been waiting for the past 3-4 months and acquire new ones. But, you know, I have to realize that every doctor has a WhatsApp group of 300 people, associations, so forth. We can really get to the doctors very easily. And, you know, because there is no barriers to entry, they are very interested in using it, of course, and they can use it very simply. And
very good.
Maybe to go back to the cardiologist question, of course, you know, in Belgium, we have a pilot in the Flanders region with our Belgian partner where they actually distributed the app to every GP in the region that's referring patients to them, because they realized that, you know, if they have this preliminary check, they call it, you know, they won't receive the inexpensive patients, yeah? So grandma with chest pain, but actually indigestion, they have to spend an hour with her, they can only charge 100 euros. And now they have the confidence that they will receive only the expensive patients where they actually have something wrong with them. And the cardiologists, in fact, are the value drivers behind this. They're the key opinion leaders that push it onto the rest of the medical industry. And the paramedics, for example, they use it by default because they have virtually no medical training. 9 out of 10 ambulance call out, they do an ECG. Yeah, so.
Okay, perfect. So I was just texting Boaz that he's up next, but I see that we have Elena now coming up. So let's go with Elena now. Sorry, Boaz. So Elena, if you're ready, then you know, the next company is Bolt Health, represented by Elena. So, you know, if you're ready, you can start your presentation.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm just pulling my slides. Wonderful. Hi, everyone. Great to see you again. So I'm delighted to tell you today about Bolt Health and what we do to reimagine digestive health our mission to help millions of people transform their gut health with the most convenient, effective, and efficient gastrointestinal care. We're a founding team made up of a doctor and a patient with firsthand experience of what it means to live and treat gastrointestinal disease. I grew up dealing with some of these issues. They really impacted my ability to work and live well. And my co-founder, Jossie, is an experienced doctor and digital health entrepreneur that's done many startups in this space. I come career-wise from VC, having invested in digital health, so also very familiar with what it takes to win in health tech. So gut health is really foundational to our general well-being. It drives our immunity, our hormones, even our mental health, and is a center of stress regulation. And as a market, GI disorders affect a lot of the population. Actually, 75% of us will experience ongoing GI symptoms that leads to significant mental health problems as well in association with this, significant productivity loss at work. And in the United States alone, in $140 billion market annually, ahead of categories like heart disease or mental health. And in this space, what we know is that an integrative model of care will maximize patient outcomes and will reduce costs. So besides taking that general approach of prescribing medication with a doctor, using evidence-based behavioral interventions with psychologists and health coaches, as well as improving nutrition with dietitians. So we bring all these components together as best practice care and make them accessible digitally to patients. So we're creating an end-to-end digestive health management platform that targets all the various factors of illness, psychobehavioral, lifestyle, biological. And we do that by providing virtual care services with a multidisciplinary team, including those doctors, dietitians, therapists, and then we scale also therapy, proven behavioral interventions with our digital therapeutic programs. And we assign this care team to each patient. They receive a personalized care plan based on their situation, their symptoms and needs, and then they're being coached through that program to implement and see improvement in symptoms. And with our digital therapeutic programs, we help them better manage their chronic condition with daily tips on how to manage their condition. We deliver cognitive therapy, certain practices for relieving their symptoms, and tips around diet, sleep management, and so forth. And actually, we partner with leading institutions to create these programs. So, for example, with the University of Pennsylvania, we're working for irritable bowel syndrome. And for that intervention, we've already run a clinical trial with 120 patients where we've shown clinically significant improvement across all the clinical scores in symptom severity, quality of life, depression, anxiety. And those results were maintained over time at 3 months follow-up. We've also launched the app.
Getting ready for the time up, so yeah.
Yeah, sure. We've had over 10,000 users on our app with great feedback. Our model is B2B2C, selling to self-insured employers and insurance plans in the United States. And currently raising a 3 million seed. So to leave you, what I want to emphasize, we're in a massive, large market, underserved by effective solutions. We have the right product that's science-based, effective, and comprehensive. And we have the right economics model selling into B2B channels in the US. Thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. Very relevant in today's world, I guess. So yeah, Q&A.
Yeah, I have a question. How does prevention spending and treatment cost ratio of GI compare to other health categories like heart disease, whatever? So, can you hear me?
Elena, can you hear us? Just looks like she just froze. And then I think we lost you. Okay, let's give her like another minute. And then if she doesn't come back, then I think we can just... Elena, can you hear us? Well, we lost. Okay, so maybe you can, and you can't speak because there was a question to you.
She's coming back.
I reshare, I rejoin. Is this better?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you heard the question from Zsolt.
I did. Well, semi. So if there's preventative spend as well?
Yeah. So prevention spending and treatment cost ratio in GI compared to other health categories. How does this compare?
Yeah, there isn't much prevention, right? It's all in treatment. It's in colonoscopies, endoscopies, hospital spending. We don't have prevention. You know, it's reactive care when patients have symptoms and come to the doctor for them.
I also have a quick question. I guess identifying the reasons for the gut dysfunction is very difficult. Where do lab tests come into this? Like, I assume you'll have to go get tested for types of bacteria or maybe allergies. I didn't see in your presentation where that plays in.
Yeah, so we're more focused on treatment at the moment. We are integrating with testing in the United States. But it's more that patients that might already have a diagnosis, they just don't get the right care. They don't know how to eat. They are distressed. They have like a psychological comorbidity or simply behaviorally, they don't know how to manage their condition. Doctor might have just given them prescription medication. That doesn't work necessarily. So then it's about providing much better guidance in chronic disease management to patients, not necessarily diagnosing. But you're right, that is a big issue. And we can do part of diagnosis with our GI doctor team and our nurse team. And then we're integrating kind of in-network, in the kind of insurer network or employer network for relevant tests.
Perfect.
Are you looking to kind of building a data game that basically a kind of a feedback loop that, okay, well, whatever treatments that you propose, kind of what's the outcome of that and whether they should be changed or?
Yeah, absolutely. We track the main clinical scores around GI symptoms, mental health, quality of life, productivity, you know, healthcare services utilization. How many times have you been on medication, doctors, etc., in the hospital setting. So for sure, we're very focused on tracking outcomes, and we have to prove that to our B2B payers.
Thank you very much, Elena. Time is up now, unfortunately. So, thank you very much. So, Boaz, now it's your time. So, if you're ready.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you perfectly, yes. Please
yes.
share
you talked about bold health, so I thought you meant me, but it spells differently. So, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to start. Just a moment, please. I'm taking the time because I see that you're strict about it. So, Pomicell has developed an AI platform for R&D enhancement in pharma. Our AI is very unique because it learns through feedback from biomedical expert community, allowing it to be faster, of higher quality, and cost-effective. So my name is Boaz Buchenler, and I've devoted my entire life to AI application in the biomedical field, trying to make artificial intelligence accessible and scalable. So the big problem that we solve in pharma R&D, as you know, the extremely low success rate of any new drug. And you know, it may lead to overall cost of over $1 billion per drug due to the high failure rate. So AI, artificial intelligence, is already proven to dramatically improve success rate of decision-making. Nevertheless, it's almost never used in the R&D process in pharma, and we must ask ourselves why. And the reason is because the quality of the shelf AI solution is simply not good enough, and adapting it or rebuilding it every time is not cost-effective. Pomicell solution is different. Oh, I didn't run with the slides so much. So Pomicell solution is different. And the reason we are different is because our AI does not try to replace the researcher, but instead to collaborate with the researcher. So Pomicell unique and patented technology can build an AI big data model in 3 minutes automatically. But then it allows for 4 easy interaction steps with the researcher that are both generic and visually intuitive. So in the process, the AI learns from the human expert how to choose literature, how to build a model, how to get to a conclusion, and it gets better every time. So why is our solution so smart here? So first, the quality of the collaboration is much higher than what a human or an AI can do alone. Second, because the AI task is easier, the cost and the times are dramatically lower. And of course, the AI improves every time by learning from the most valuable asset, the human mind, the explanation to the prediction, which is very, very important. So our main advantage over competition is that we can employ thousands of experts to one central AI, making it superior, especially in the explanation, and of course, cost-effective, as I said. So our target market is 5,000 biotech and pharma companies, and through our SaaS model, which can later be, by the way, augmented to other segments, we are currently doing 4 therapeutic areas, including dermatology, metabolic condition, and other. And we answer several questions, including mechanism of action, new indication discovery, clinical responder, non-responder, etc. And with our experts and POCs, we're looking now to raise around money of 10 million in order to get over 1,000 experts worldwide in 8 therapeutic fields and over 50 clients. And I can talk about the team, but this was 3 minutes. Thank you.
You're like very perfect on the timing. Thank you very much. Yeah. So Q&A. Any questions?
Well, I want to stop sharing because it makes, By the way, did you see it like that all the time? It's terrible.
No, it was good. It was good.
Sorry. And sorry for not sliding in the first slides.
It's okay.
Yeah, hi Boaz, this is Max. Could you tell us again what was the success you've reached so far? So which verticals or which medical fields and how many patients?
We have not worked with patients. We have worked with pharma and biotech companies in 3 therapeutic areas, actually 4. The one is dermatology, the other is metabolic condition, the other is cell therapy actually, and another one is medical neurological endocannabinoid system. These are 4 segments which were the most promising and in which the AI reached automatically the highest results. So in those systems, in those type of fields, the question were mechanism of action, the questions were can you find me a new indication, and the question was of clinical trials, and we reached successes in over 12 companies that we have so far given them the ability to work with the system and with our expert community. So basically, if you ask me what are the results, the AI automatically reaches the 80 to 84% prediction automatically from literature examining experiment of the past, but then with the human expert, it reaches a very good explanation and even higher results then. And this is our success. I can tell about the case studies. I can give one. Tell me if I have the time. Clinical, not clinical. Yeah, some successes.
Still have time for one more question. Okay, if there are no more questions, I think it was a very concise presentation. Thank you very much, Boaz.
No problem.
So now it's sort of the moment of truth. So I would ask all jury members to click their Mentimeter links in their calendar invites. And then once we have all of them voted or actually made the ranks, then I will share my screen and show you the results. So please let me know if everyone has done their work. Okay, did everyone vote? Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now. And I'm going to do a refresh just to see that we have the final results. So the results are in, and it looks like Powerful Medical is ranked on the first place. So Powerful Medical is the winner of the HealthTech section. Thank you very much, everyone, for participating. We'll share the sort of like a plaquette on LinkedIn, and we'll send it to you as well, so you can share it on your own screen. Thank you very much, and see you in the grand finale. You guys now
Thanks,
have
everyone.
a 10-minute session to relax or join the networking lounge.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, see you soon.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.